Selling items to pawn shop. Item suitability. What types of items are you most interested in buying? Are there certain items that tend to fetch a higher price?
We are interested in all items that are considered to be high value, and we analyze them as they come in. Typically, we prefer jewelry, watches, diamonds. That's what we specialize in. But we would entertain estate pieces as well, antiques as well. Basically, you just give us a call and we'd let you know if we would be interested in purchasing the items from you. We typically pay out up to 99.5% of value. So if you want top dollar, I recommend coming to New York One Pawn and getting a loan, or you can sell.
Condition and value. How important is the condition of an item when selling it to a pawn shop?
So the condition of the item is the only way that it impacts a sale is that, we take into consideration if we are able to resell the item, then obviously we would give a higher value on a purchase as opposed to another item which is either dented or damaged and unrepairable, which in essence would have to be melted. Where there we would have to pay up to the full amount of where the gold value would be at the time of the client selling the item.
Preparation. Is there anything sellers should do to their items before bringing them in to sell for cash? For example, cleaning, testing, and providing accessories or documentation.
Absolutely not. I mean, if their items are name brand, if they're backed by Tiffany, Cartier, Rolex, or any high-end name, which definitely increases obviously the value to a typical piece of jewelry, that would give us more belief that the item would be a certified 100% authentic item from those companies, then in essence would fetch you much more money at the time of sale or at the time of loan.
Appraisal process. How do you determine the value of an item brought in for sale?
Sure, a client would come in and let us know what they have. We would then connect them to one of our professional appraisers, and the item would be assessed by that particular agent who has started working with that client, and the process would be done immediately. I mean, they would, analyze it, assess it based on their professional experience and knowledge, and we will be very transparent with the client immediately on what they have.
Is there room for negotiation on the price offered for an item?
The greatest thing about our location, our business, is we try to get as much as we can to our clients. We care about them coming back to me. We focus on quantity. We want our clients coming back. We don't mind making a minimal profit, but we like the relationships. We want our customers to keep coming back to us. So we tend to offer up to 99.5% of the value on our own. But educated consumers and customers are our favorite. The more you're knowledgeable, the more that you're aware of your item, the easier it becomes for us to make the deal with you.
How quickly can a seller expect to receive cash after agreeing to sell an item? Are there any conditions or exceptions?
Absolutely not. Within 15 minutes of entering the business, you would be greeted by one of our expert appraisers who would then analyze, discuss, and come to an agreement with you on a price which would satisfy you and the company. You would have to hand in a piece of ID. Our computerized system would get your receipt printed out within a couple of minutes, and you'd be out the door.
Seller's remorse. If a seller changes their mind, is there a period during which they can return to buy back their item?
Yes, at New York One Pawn, we give all sellers the option of converting their sale into a loan 2 weeks within the time of the item being sold. So basically, if a client sold an item today and they call us within 2 weeks' time of the item being sold, the item can be converted into a loan if the client has seller's remorse.
If they want back their item.
If they want it back, they can purchase the item back as long as we still have the item.
Legal considerations. What kind of paperwork or documentation is required to sell an item to a pawn shop? How do you ensure that the items are not stolen?
That's a very good question. Here at New York One Pawn, we make sure that the client, number one, has a valid form of ID, whether it's state issued or federally issued ID, a passport typically, a driver's license, or a state ID. And then we ask the client if the item belongs to them, and we ask some questions just to get a little more comfortable of the item that we are purchasing or lending against. We do the best that we can. And the ID itself is the key. And having that on file, we do our best to work with law enforcement. And if there's ever an issue, we are here to make sure that all the necessary guidelines and steps are followed based on the law.
Do you buy items in bulk or do you prefer individual high-value items? How does selling in bulk affect the price?
The more you have, the more you get. Everything is determined by weight. So you're selling by gram. You have a piece that's 5 grams, or you have 10 pieces, it makes it 50 grams. You're going to get 99.5% of the value. So it doesn't determine the amount, doesn't determine you getting a different value. We pay and lend top dollar here at New York One Pawn.